Time to have an incredible conversation, have a wonderful conversation by delving into the mind of one Matthew Archbold. Good morning to you, Matthew. How are you, sir?
Good morning. We're about to do the thing that you're not supposed to do. We're never supposed to talk about politics and religion together.
Yeah.
And this week it's been crazy.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, they mixed it all together. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Stay in your lane, guys. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's been.
We had those pictures of Trump as Jesus, and then saying it was a doctor. I'm telling you, if my doctor showed up like that, I would expect to get healed pretty quick.
Yeah, you would hope. Yeah, you would hope. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Christmas season when they unveil the Pope Trump Rock'em Sock'em robots. You know.
And then did you just hear this? Pete Hegseth was quoting a Bible verse, and he mistakenly was quoting the Pulp Fiction fake Bible verse.
Oh,
that
no.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, no.
Tell me it ain't so, Joe.
Yeah.
Tell me it ain't so.
What was that Bible? What was the fake one?
Well, it was written by Quentin Tarantino, so you really don't want me.
Okay. All right. I got it. I thought maybe it was repeatable, but got it. Okay.
I did see on
No,
a
not
story
even
on a
close.
I saw a story on a very reputable Catholic news site too, that there were leaders going to be reading the entire Bible out loud in Washington D.C. and it struck my curiosity. So but I read further into the story, and they said the King James Bible. I said, well, you're not reading the entire Bible then. This is a Catholic news site. Hold on a minute.
Right. I got some extra books for you here, guys.
Yeah.
Is someone reading the
here somewhere.
another book somewhere else? Or what?
Did we finish Daniel? Yeah, was Daniel done?
I'm sorry, I digress.
But the thing is that politics and religion really don't mix well. You know, when the Pope calls for an end to violence and that we should be kind to migrants, it could be he's just saying we shouldn't be violent and we should be kind to migrants.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to politicize it.
Right.
You know, that message it's not like that message has not been sent for
thousands of
2,000 years.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I wrote this the other day that I give the benefit of the doubt to the Pope as a Catholic, but as an American, I tend not to give the benefit of the doubt to politicians.
I have to tell you, Matthew, I saw that headline, and I opened it up, and I realized that was the story, and I thought, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Part of me just wishes like neither side would play in this. I mean, it just seems.
I know.
It seems to me that the media is just fueling this, and I think somebody just needs to step back and say whichever side and say, we're not going this. I'm not making a political statement, or I'm not getting involved in this. Or I'm just saying what's in the gospel. I mean, it just. I think the media keeps trying to stoke this fire between Rome and Washington.
Love it.
And somebody needs to just say, I'm not playing this game anymore. I've kind of tapped out of it because I see it as a game. So it's like I'm not paying. I know the church teaching on this stuff, so.
Right, and it's kind of been consistent for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
It's just. But I was saying that the politics and the religion, you can't look at those through the same prism.
True.
I wrote a piece about Sir Thomas More. If you were to look at what he looked at,
yes.
Right.
And then explain to him that if you don't make this one tiny little concession, right, to the king, Christendom is over. A new church will be birthed, will lose the heart of Europe for centuries to come. Authority will be gone. And, abortion will be pushed by Christian churches.
Right.
Gender swapping, contraception. This will be the biggest moral calamity the world's seen. And you are going to stand against that because of your particular morals. But that's the thing about the church. We celebrate that.
Yes.
We celebrate that man standing up despite the consequences in the real world. Mm-hmm. Now, politics is all about the real world. And you give a little, you get a little.
Yep.
But that's the opposite of the church. The church doesn't operate in that sphere.
Yeah.
Right.
We deal with morality. And we celebrate the fact that Sir Thomas More stood up against the King of England.
Yeah.
And yes, everything bad happened because of it.
Yeah.
A new church was born, and that's a corrupt church, and it's sad.
Yeah.
But
and I think I remember reading an article by George Melander, who's a moral theologian, and he said basically, the church is. I think he did a nice job talking about church and state, and he said the church is supposed to be the conscience of the state.
Right.
It doesn't make the rules. It doesn't, but it keeps raising, like you're saying, what is true, good, and beautiful, and what we should be after. And you're right. I mean, it is in those little things, like Thomas More, one person, one choice, right, made all the difference.
Yeah, like politicians are supposed to be thinking of the great society movements and looking at the sociology of things. Whereas in Catholicism, we're not responsible for the great tides of sociology that wash over the world. We're not the masters of history.
Right.
We say God takes care of that. Our only responsibility, our only true possession, is to keep our soul in communion with God. Mm-hmm. And if we do that, the world, we believe that gives God the things he can work with to make the world a better place eventually. And I think, you look at Sir Thomas More,
yeah,
his example has really changed the world. Mm-hmm. And has done so much good for so many people and given such strength to people in times of trouble who, when they are standing up to something that seems inevitable and dominant, they have that strength because, Sir Thomas More did it before them.
Yeah.
My great place of comfort is when the church speaks out and the world is angry about it. And my other great place of comfort is when when the church remains silent and the world is angry about it. and I think as long as we're in opposition to the world, as long as the world rejects in some way what the church is saying, then I have to say we are doing exactly what we're raised up to do, right? I mean, we have to your point, we have to be that pang of conscience. We must be that.
Mm-hmm. And Matthew, I love these couple lines here from this article. He chose the soul, and in doing so, he reminded us that while the tides of the world are temporary, the state of the individual soul is eternal. We just lose track of that. We have just become kind of a materialistic society where this is the only stuff that is real is the material that is in front of us, and we lose this concept that there is so much awaiting us, and how we live in this world, what we focus on focusing on God is what gets us to that next eternal world.
Right, the world does not fear someone making a political decision, but the world does fear a whole church filled with people who have the bravery of Sir Thomas More. That scares the world.
Amen.
And the Dominican Sisters of Hawthorne in New York. Matthew Archbold, thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt.
CreativeMinorityReport.com.